Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a special reading for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Taurus, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, you can find that information in my Buy Me a Coffee link, my official Instagram and TikTok, all listed in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. Taurus, I hope that you're doing well. This is your 2026 overview forecast. I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The first one for the overall energy is going to be from the Soul Coaching Oracle deck. And for the tarot portion of the reading, it's going to be from the Artist Decoded Tarot. The cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Angel, Spirits, Guides, what messages do you have for Taurus, please? Their 2026 overview. Beautiful card. Number 52, which corresponds to the 7. Major Arcana, the 7 is the Chariot card. That's Cancer energy. Could be channeling some really a focus on home life, maternal instincts, nesting. And I've never really said that, actually. Anytime I've pulled the Chariot, I've never really talked about that, but Spirit just kind of wanted to kind of interject in that moment and say, yeah, maybe you're really focused on family, home life, more so than normal. It's really important that you're, maybe bonding with your family members or creating an environment that feels right, or, trying to find the balance of what you want your home life to be, something like that. So there could be some minor upheaval. Upheaval doesn't suggest minor, but Spirit is kind of showing me all sorts of situations where you could be moving homes, moving countries. It's very important for you to focus on family life right now. It's not Spirit necessarily saying that. Spirit is saying that's what you're doing. And that's what they're showing me right now. And the card that you got is Wisdom. I think this is the first time I've ever pulled this card from this particular deck. Not that I've used this deck very often, but I don't think this card has come out. And I'm really focused on the fact that the owl's wings are outstretched. Spirit is showing me a very random video in my mind's eye, something I saw yesterday. I don't even know what platform it was on, but it was like this mother and daughter in a clothing store, and they were holding up a pair of pants, and they were trying to tell the viewer, if you hold out your pair of pants like widthwise, but you hold the length of them, the leg and the length of them, if they're taut, like if you hold your arms extended fully and the pants are taut, then they'll be the right length. If it's kind of sagging in the middle when you extend your hands, then they'll be too long. And if it doesn't quite reach them, they'll be too short. Talking about the proportions of your legs to your arms, I suppose. And then if you tie, if you wrap the waist of the pants around your neck, if it touches perfectly, then they'll fit, because somehow the circumference of your neck is exactly half of what your waist. I don't know why Spirit is bringing that up. It's because I saw these arms extended, and I think the point of that is to say you're looking for the perfect fit. You're looking for something that feels just right, like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. That story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and the porridge. This porridge is too hot. This porridge is too cold. This porridge is just right. So you could have been talking about Goldilocks recently, or nursery rhymes. Spirit's giving me all sorts of things right now in this moment. But getting back to the Wisdom card, obviously, I don't know how it is that owls became these kind of omens or symbols of wisdom. I think it's because they say very little. They make their whoo sound and then they don't say very much. They're not talkative. And they have these eyes that are knowing, the eyes that almost seem to peer right into your soul. If you've ever seen an owl, the only time I've ever been, unfortunately, the only time I've ever been super up close to an owl was in a zoo. I've seen owls in the wild, but at a great distance. So they do have these piercing, knowing eyes. And so it could be like you staring down the path of something where you're being very discerning with how you're looking at that path. And that path could involve family, home life, stability, your job, very earth energy, very pentacles energy. So I feel like the theme for 2026 will be that discerning eye that you have when you look at decisions that you're going to make in your life. It's not a fly by the seat of our pants. We're going to be spontaneous. That's fine too for some people. That's not where you are, at least at the beginning of this year. You're being very, very methodical in the way that you express yourself, in the way that you make decisions, how you take in information. That's interesting too. It's like Spirit's saying you're taking everything with a grain of salt. That could have to do with things that we see on social media or in the news. You're just taking things with a grain of salt. You want to see with your own eyes. You want to discern with your own senses. I'm going to be pulling 3 cards for the base spread, 3 cards for clarifier. The first set of cards I'm going to show you are what you're going to be releasing, what you're going to be leaving behind. The next set of cards will be what you're welcoming in 2026. And the last set will be advice from Spirit, what it is that you're going to embrace. Beautiful thing to be releasing. The first card out. You'll see it in a second. I am only taking uprights in this reading. Only uprights. This is for Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Messages do you have? Thank you. Perfect. Beautiful. Spirit asked me to look at the bottom of the deck. 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords is a card of kind of being trapped and bound in our own endless thoughts, our worries, our anxiety. Spirit is showing me that this is also what you're trying to leave behind. The inclination that you may have to overthink situations. It's not to say that you can't be discerning and decisive, right? We don't have to be discerning and then just think things to the nth degree where we drive ourselves crazy with our discernment. It's like, no, I trust myself enough to assess the situation at hand and make a decision. I don't have to be trapped and bound in the what ifs and what should I do and what happens if, and you're not doing that anymore. What we're leaving behind. Number 15 of the major arcana. You did get you got 3 major arcana here. Only 6 cards on the table. So Spirit has their hand in the situation. They're keeping an eye on things. Number 15 is the Devil. This is Capricorn energy. I was reading a lot of earth energy in the overall theme of the reading, especially because of this big tree in the background, the earthly concerns, groundedness. As this is a Capricorn card, I want to focus on that as well. Capricorn is, kind of involved in diligence and hard work and pooling their resources together. The Devil card, however, as an energy, talks about something that keeps us trapped and bound, keeps us in cycles of repeat, cycles of addiction, workaholism, overindulgence, a lack of consideration for our own, Spirit said health. That could be mental, physical, spiritual, emotional health. The Devil card traditionally traps the lovers. The Lovers card in the tarot not just talks about higher level connection, soul connection, but it also talks about choices and being free to make choices. The Devil traps the individual and makes them feel as though they don't have any choice. I think that's why a lot of times when people experience the isms, workaholism, alcoholism, addiction of some kind, sometimes people feel like, what other choice do I have? I have to self-soothe in some way. I have to cope. And the Devil energy kind of makes you feel like, come over here with me. Things seem brighter on this side. Things feel better on this side. You're leaving all of that messiness behind. I think it starts with a recognition that it has been maybe overtaking you, and you're releasing yourself from it. And the way that you release yourself, Page of Pentacles, is by taking a step forward in a new direction. Again, another earth sign card. The Pentacles talks about opportunities, doors opening. The Pages are the explorers. They're the students of life. They may not have all the answers. In fact, they don't have all the answers. That's the point. They're embarking on a new journey of discovery. And so Spirit is giving me that quotation from, I don't know who made this. Oh, this is really awful that I don't know this. Was it Neil Armstrong, famous astronaut? I should know this because I'm such a space fanatic, but I can't think of it in this moment. Neil Armstrong, perhaps, or Buzz Aldrin, I can't remember. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, or humankind, right? It's this sense that the first step, I think, is even just asking the question, where is it that I want to go? What is it that I want to do? What is it that I'm trying to attain, to achieve, to feel, to release myself from? Just ask yourself the question. Devil energy would keep you trapped in endless cycling of questions that go nowhere. Page of Pentacles seeks answers. So you're being brave for yourself. You might not see it that way, but asking the question is the first step. So that's really beautiful that you're leaving that behind, and it wasn't easy. This is a heavy hitter major arcana. It's not for the weak. This is like weird. In this image, there's something kind of floating up in that corner. Honestly, it looks like a piece of tofu. It either looks like a playing card, a piece of tofu, a cigarette case. Maybe one of those things is relevant to you. Playing card, piece of tofu, cigarette case. I don't know what I'm supposed to glean from that, but Spirit drew my attention to it. I mean, cigarette case would suggest that maybe somebody is quitting smoking. Piece of tofu would suggest that perhaps somebody is trying to watch what they eat. Playing card, gambling. Maybe that's something someone is releasing. Take it as it resonates. I'm going to ask Spirit about this Page of Pentacles. What's that? What's the first step? Where are you heading? What was the initial step for you? This is for Taurus, Page of Pentacles, please. Thank you. Towards your happiness. Marriage, commitment, something, blissful endeavor, project that makes you feel right as rain, makes you feel fulfilled. You're walking towards this blissfulness. You have an idea in your mind of what that looks like, which is difficult. Some people don't, they can't even describe what happiness looks like to them. It's almost like, I feel like, it's interesting because Spirit's showing me a kind of a icebreaker exercise that I was a part of the other day. I had a division meeting at my job, and my boss likes to do, you know, like fun little icebreakers. And so she filled an envelope, a big oversized envelope with questions. And so as we were all eating sandwiches, we all picked out a question from this envelope. And my question was, what is your perfect day, or something like that? And I immediately was able to answer the question. It definitely involves coffee, a beautiful setting, a person I love, maybe a book. It's very simple. Like, the perfect day for me is a very simple thing. It's not always something I can achieve. When I have it, I'm so grateful for it, right? Other people, a question like that's a very simple question. They end up in their mind, and they feel like if they answer the question that they somehow are going to be held to that answer for the rest of their lives. Like, for the rest of my life, if that question is ever asked of me, I have to say it involves coffee, a book, a pretty setting, the person I love. I mean, you don't have to be trapped in your answers. The important thing is to even just contemplate the question. And I think that you have been doing that, and it feels like you're very clear about it in 2026, about your outlook and where it is that you want to go. Now, what is it that we're welcoming in? Number 18 of the major arcana, Cancer Pisces energy, the moon. We're welcoming in the mystery of how we're going to get there. The moon talks about, sometimes can talk about confusion, illusion, secrets, mysteries, illumination in the darkness. Like, really, here are those pieces again. It's very interesting. It's like shards of space debris or something. I don't know what these are. The Spirit wants to draw them. Well, this kind of looks like a golden nugget. Golden nugget. You know, when sometimes it's the weirdest things come up in the algorithm in my social media, but sometimes I like to watch when people pan for gold, because it seems like such a tedious process. But when they find a golden nugget, it's like, wow, that was really satisfying, and that's probably worth a lot of money, right? So for them, it was worth their time and effort. But it seems like the level of effort is always the reward that comes from panning for gold. It just seems so minuscule. But the idea of panning for gold is that it's rare, that gold doesn't come easy. That's why it's worth so much as a resource. So there's something about that. It's almost as if you're sifting through the mystery of how you're going to reach your blissfulness, but you know that the effort will be worth it. You're already assuming that you're going to find the golden nuggets. You might not have the methodology down. You might need to go back to school. You might need to partner up with somebody to make your dreams come true. There might be some trial and error involved. But I feel as though you're willing to walk through the darkness to reach that end goal. You know, I see it here, 7 of Swords, to clarify. A lot of darkness here. There's a lot of thoughts, a lot of thinking. Seven of Swords, though, it can be the card of thievery and trickery, but I almost see it for you. See how these swords are kind of lined up so precisely, perfectly? There's a precision that Spirit wants me to highlight for you. There's a methodology that's happening with how you kind of wade through the darkness, and it's something that you are welcoming. You're welcoming the change. You're actually welcoming the unknown, which already puts you in a state of advantage because a lot of people don't like change. They don't like the unknown. It makes them feel insecure and unsafe. This is how you stand apart in 2026. Maybe even stand apart from your past self, your past selves, past years. You are really embracing the mystery. I'm going to pull a clarifier on the Seven of Swords. What are we being methodical about? 3 cards flipped over. The Nine of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. So let's start with the first one that was on the top, the Nine of Swords. What are we being methodical about? Traditionally, the Nine of Swords can talk about nightmare energy, obviously overthinking. We saw the Eight of Swords before. Here's the 9 now. It's even more intense. But Spirit is actually adjusting how I interpret the card. Sorry, that was somebody being a jerk with their engine, but they were revving their engine, so that could be a part of your reading. I don't take anything for granted while I read. I also can hear my little orange cat meowing at the door impatiently. He wants to be let in. There could be something to that in your dream state. It's not about nightmares for you. It's about you receiving messages at night, you receiving messages in the dream state, in the astral realm, in spaces of meditation. You're receiving some kind of indication of how to navigate the mystery. It may not make rational sense in the moment, but it's almost like you could be writing something down that you see in your dreams, and then it ends up being a part of your ideas, your grand ideas later. Six of Pentacles, Spirit is in the mood to be generous and reward you for what it is that you've put out there. Six of Pentacles is equal give and take. So they're kind of showing me that you've paid some dues and you've put the work in, and Spirit is going to reward you for that work in equal measure. And Queen of Wands, absolutely attractive, not just physically, but also energetically. And look, here's the cat. It's not an orange cat, but it's a black cat on an orange background. Here's the cat. You're familiar, wanting to be by your side, giving you good luck, good fortune. Black cat in the tarot is good luck. Queen of Wands uses her prowess to get what she wants. I think I can feel it's almost like by embracing the mystery, and I said that puts you, earlier I said, that puts you ahead of people who just stay stuck in fear all the time, right? It's like when you embrace the change, you embrace the mystery, you have an advantage over people. And I think that advantage is something that you're welcoming and you're embracing it, and you're almost like wearing it like a badge of honor. Like, look at me, I'm taking risks, calculated risks. I'm not afraid. I'm not going to allow other people's fear and doubt affect my ability to attract things towards me. It's amazing. Spirit's advice and what we're here to embrace. The Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles is collaboration and co-creation with Spirit. you know the Spirit has your back. This could be something that you're really just starting to understand, maybe because in the dream state you started to see signs and synchronicities. You started to spiritually awaken in a way that you hadn't before. It's almost like anytime I see this card, it's like we're walking through this archway, this threshold into another kind of personal dimension, right? We're quantum leaping into another phase of our existence. It's like even by making the choice to say, I'm no longer afraid of what the future holds, you up-level yourself. And Spirit has your back, right? So beautifully to end the reading with number 0, the Fool, to clarify that. The Fool's journey, the Fool starts the tarot. Taking chances, taking risks. What you're going to be embracing is the fact that the more decisions that you make for yourself, the more times you put yourself out there, the less scary it becomes. You may succeed, you may fail. It's almost not the point. The point is to take that initial step. Right here, the Page of Pentacles, the Fool. We're both standing on a coastline here. One seems like kind of monochromatic, and here this is all kind of dynamic, colorful energy. Thank you, Spirit. There's a definite up-leveling here from what we've released to what we're graduating to. It's really, really beautiful. So that's your reading, Taurus. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Taurus.